be like, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our Sunday conversation. This week, we have another Kentucky legend, Coach Spire, coming back home from Georgia, taking over the Highlands program.
Made Coach Spire over 300 wins total in professional, which is with the Horsemen, at Catholic, at Gwinnett County, at Caden High School down there in Georgia. Coach, he's had nothing but success everywhere he's been. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to what he's going to do at Highlands. But here's their interview right Coach, here. Thanks for sitting down with us today. It's a pleasure of ours to sit down with such a legendary coach in this area.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I'm just so excited to be back in Kentucky. Feel so blessed to be in this community. This is the one job you come back for. And it's been a great 15 years away from home, but I'm back home, and we hit the ground running March the 1st, and it has been total chaos for 3 straight weeks, and I'm loving every second of it.
Now, Coach, man, I mean, really kind of tell us what brought this about, Coach?
I've never been a job search guy. Mm-hmm. I was 15 years at Lexington Catholic and wasn't looking. And the principal at North Gwinnett called me, and I'm like, let's take this show on the road and see if it works. And get down there, and I was at North Gwinnett for 11 years, and I wasn't looking. And I'm literally down with my family in a condo on Amelia Island to take my family to the Gator Bowl to watch Kentucky play Georgia Tech. And Camden County reaches out to me and says, we'd like to talk to you about the job. And I'm like, well, I'm 30 minutes from you right now. I mean, it was just one of those things to where, it just happened. We took the challenge on. And then, we were in the process. We had that thing into the 3rd year, right back in the hunt. And we lost 3 ball games to the team that nobody was going to beat in Marietta, to the team that they beat in the state championship in Lowndes, to the team that preseason everybody thought was going to win in Colquitt County. That was our 3 losses. And we had a bunch coming back last year. Then COVID hit, and our school system decided that if you went virtual, you couldn't play.
Wow.
Oh, man.
We had one of the top 5 teams in the state coming back. We were going to be right in the hunt. We had a Power 5 running back that everybody in the country was recruiting. We had a left tackle that ended up signing in December at Georgia. And we lost 25% of our roster. Oh, and we played the number 1 schedule in Georgia. And so timing is everything. I met with the superintendent afterwards, and I said, how are we going to handle this moving forward? He's a hardcore conservative guy, so nothing's going to change. I wasn't really looking, and lo and behold, Andy Raker, who's a Highlands guy who used to help with equipment, who helped Tom with the equipment, UK football, and was our manager for the Horsemen. And Andy and I stayed friends. He helps with the baseball program at Highlands. All of a sudden, I get a call out of the blues. Andy's like, ready to come back to Kentucky. I'm like, I'm still in a pretty good situation, and they're paying me pretty well. And next thing you know, I find out that one of my former players, Wes Caldwell's the athletic director, and Wes reaches out. But even at that time, I'm like, they're going to have lots of good coaches apply. They're going to have, once again, I'm not a job search guy, so I'm just kind of stay tunnel vision. And then the next time I get a call, it's a little bit different. I find out kind of what's happened. And now it's like, Coach, these kids need your help. And it's, it just is what it is. And I'm like, let's talk. And, my family's all scattered. I do have a brother right across the river in Cincinnati and his family. His daughter's my godchild. But my wife's, both parents are still living in Meade County. They're 81. They're in great health. But, you can tell every time you do a Zoom meeting with them, they're not getting younger.
Yeah.
And she's from a big family. They're scattered all over Kentucky, southern Indiana. And just so it's like the good Lord said, Bob, it's time for you to come back home. This is the place you've always wanted to be. You've always visualized it. And I'm a big believer in the power of prayer. And I'm a big believer in the power of the law of attraction, which to me is based on prayer. And in my mind, when I've thought of high school football, what high school football is, you can't tell me Highlands in one of those visuals in your head. So, there's just, things happen for a reason. We're blessed to be here. We're all in, and we are who we are. They probably heard about as much honesty in the last 3 weeks as they may want to hear. For now. But that's just who I am.
Coach, man, first of all, to follow up on that, man, it's good to have old school coaching back. You know, not the, hey, I'm trying to do my best to get Johnny in place. It's good to have a real, real effect to give these kids. Also, I think it meant a lot for us here in Kentucky to see you have success in Georgia like you did, because it shows that there is football knowledge here in Kentucky, and it's good players here as well.
Let me tell you something. I hope every coach in Kentucky takes great pride in that. Ain't about me. It's about us.
Yeah.
We've won ball games. When we first went down there, we took over a program that was 50 years old in Gwinnett County, which is great football. And they had never in 50 years hosted a home playoff game.
Man.
We won our first 9 football games. We were number 1 in the state for 6 weeks. Year 2, we played for a state championship. And I'm going to tell you right now, we learned how in Kentucky to do more with less. And those coaches in Georgia, they're great coaches, but they grow up in those systems and they play one spot growing up and they learn to coach that one spot through school. They don't see some of the big picture that Kentucky coaches have to see. They may not see the whole total program. I'm telling you, coaches in Kentucky that do it right and do it well, they can coach ball now. They can coach everything. They can run a total program. There's a whole lot of really good coaches in Georgia, but they basically are in their lane.
Yes.
That doesn't make them bad coaches. That makes them great coaches in their lane. But I'm telling you, we won ball games because of being in Kentucky. We won ball games in Georgia because of how we did it in Kentucky. It wasn't just me. I took 6 guys with me that were either currently on my staff at that time or had been on my staff in the past. The core of our program was built off 7 Kentucky boys.
Yes, sir.
And we went down there and won football games against some phenomenal football team. And they're sitting there, and I'm going to tell you, their whole mindset when we got in there, they brutalized that principal, John Green, that Dr. Green. They were like, "You bringing a damn Kentucky guy down here to Georgia? You got to be out of your mind. They don't play football in Kentucky." And we went down there and wore their tails out.
Amen.
Now,
that's Kentucky football. The people in Kentucky that do it right, they need to understand how good a job they're doing. And by God, they're doing more with less in so many places than some of those folks. And that's not take away. There's great coaches, great people. Treat those kids great in Georgia. Football is really important there. It's really important in those societies. It was a great experience the last 15 years. But I'm hoping this whole thing where you see it all from having my roots in Kentucky, and then you get the details like you had the opportunity in Georgia, and you mix all that together. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know how it's going to go, but in 3 weeks, we're a better football team already. Amen. Our kids are hungry. They're hungry.
That's good stuff.
Now, Coach, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because I grew up in Florida, and I originally, I played my football in Florida and ended up transplanting here. The biggest thing I've always said is just kind of been the culture, how important it is. And those little, like you said, the details has been the biggest thing. And I think, like you said, meshing those, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing Highlands under your tenure, Coach.
Guys, I've said this multiple times just in my 3 weeks here. Honesty can be perceived as negativity.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm going to be is honest. So I've been asked multiple times, what do you see that's missing? What do you see that's lacking? Where are you facility-wise? All those kind of things. We have the most beautiful problem in the Highlands as a school that you could ever hope to have, but it's a problem. The beautiful problem is this. We have unbelievably active kids. They are dying to be involved and active and participate. And you got a bunch of adults that want to facilitate that. And people are tripping all over themselves trying to find space to do all those things. But that's a beautiful problem to have. I'd sure as heck rather have that than have to take the cattle prod to get somebody to be active. It's a great problem to have. But man, I'll tell you now, it's a challenge for the school system. And here's the other thing. Staffing is a tremendous challenge here. Because somebody locks onto one of these jobs in the classroom, somebody's a biology teacher, somebody's an algebra teacher, they're not leaving. They're not giving up those spots. This is a destination place for a teacher. So, I knew those things coming in here. I'm not a guy that you know, I don't tuck and run. It's going to take some navigating through over time. We're playing the long game here. Anybody thinks I came here to have a one-shot deal, they're out of their freaking minds. We're in this thing for the long game.
Okay, coach.
We're in this thing to rebuild this program as one big Bluebird Nation. Because and I had to be here March 1. The folks at Camden County have been great, but they wanted to make sure I was handing off the transition in the right way. And they've been good to me, and I was going to do that. But when I found out March the 1st at 7 p.m. was our junior football league board meeting, I told the folks at Camden, I have to be there March the 1st. Because that's 1 month of meet, one day a month they meet, and it's March 1st. I have to be there because that is so critical that we build this program back all the way down from top to bottom.
Coach, man, I love your passion and your energy. I love it. I'm glad to have you back. Something to follow up on what Coach said. You talk about how to fix Highlands. How do we get Kentucky on the map? How do we close the gap between Kentucky and what people think we're a basketball state, but over the year, you can see football has become big, especially in the counties like Highlands and stuff like that. If you ever been to a game on Friday on Highlands, you only get that one side of bleachers, and you better not sit in that seat belongs to somebody from Highlands because they're going to ask you to move. How do we close that gap between us and the big football states?
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you cut me open and football is going to fall out. So wherever I am, I'm going to try to make it the best and the greatest it can be. And that's not just Highlands. Whatever I can do to make Kentucky football better in whatever way, I'm all in. Now, but let me just say this. I've come back and I'm figuring out already. They made one of the most brilliant decisions that I have ever seen. When I get back March 1 and I'm taking the kids out and I'm kind of walking through some install, just trying to show them where to line up, I don't have a football out there. Because I'm thinking, well, they're going to be a helicopter flying over to see what Bob Spire doing with day one. If I have a football out there, I'm going to get us busted. I find out the next morning I can have a football out there. I'm like, that's the most, if we're going to really teach, which is what football and activities, that is the greatest teaching laboratory. They're motivated to be there. They're hungry to be there. And you've got you're a mentor. There's so much teaching to go on. So they've given us an opportunity to go out and teach the game. Now we're not knocking each other's heads apart. We're not doing all those things, but we are teaching. We're teaching. And let me tell you now, Georgia, I can only work with 4 guys at one time with a ball. During this time of the year. Now we had spring practice, we had 10 days spring practice. But right now, January, February, March, I could take a quarterback and 3 receivers out. I could take a center, quarterback, running back, whatever out. I could take a center or a snapper or a punter or a holder, kick, but we don't work 4-on-1. And what happens? Those kids are going somewhere else to see somebody else to get trained or do their receiver drills or whatever. But here, we can go out and in a real, just low key teaching process, we can go out and teach these kids real football. You can't tell me the kids in Kentucky aren't going to get better because of that. I think that's freaking brilliant. Julian Tackett, whoever spearheaded that was a brilliant decision that was made.
You got the big giant now, Covenant Catholic. What's your goals, or how do you tackle that giant to put Highlands back on the stage that they belong on?
Eddie Evanston is one of the greatest young men I've ever had a chance to coach. He played for us with the Horsemen when I was the head coach of the arena team. And Eddie was on that national championship team when I was coaching. He has every ounce of respect. Every bone in my body oozes respect for Eddie Evanston. I am not at all surprised to see the quality of the program he has. And I know he's teaching those young men, and he's treating them great, and he cares about them, et cetera. And I love playing against people that do it right. And so to see Eddie and Covenant Catholic doing what they're doing does not surprise me at all. What better situation is there than to have a great rival that's doing it right? I think that makes everybody better. Now, beyond that, Highlands is more than just versus Cov Cath. I'm just going to tell you now, it's not by accident that my first day was March 1st. You know, in the rest of the world, how they do their dates, they put the number in front of the month. 1 March.
Mm-hmm.
We just blew it out this morning. I had to get the trash cans out for some of them. We just blew it out early this morning. Our kids already are learning to live in the now, in the moment. Whatever we're doing, they're trying to do it great. But at Highlands, the ultimate goal is a state championship. We won't beat Cov-Cath. We know that's a roadblock. We know that's an obstacle. But the goal at Highlands is to win a state championship. It didn't take me long to figure out our mantra. It's 1 March. We started this era on 1 March. 1 March means we are marching together. Yes, we are on 1 March together. And it is now. We're living in now. Now, we're every moment. Well, are we going to be great now? Are we going to be great in what we're doing now? Are we in the moment, or do we have intentional, focused work in the now toward that goal, which at Highlands is a state championship? 1 March, now, win state.
Now, Coach, man, well, first of all, I'll say this. You got to calm down, Coach. Coach Trump's over at Smiley. He's already got enough man crushes on coaches already. He's going to be stalking you, Coach. He can't fit no more man crushes.
We are going to have a friggin' blast, brother.
He's ready to come.
Go right.
How in the world did I get to be so blessed to be able to do this? How in the world what have I done to deserve this?
Hey, if them kids ain't ready to run through a wall for you, I don't know what's wrong. They ain't ready to play.
Coach, I'm running through the wall for them, man. Hey, let me tell you a quick story. Let me tell you how we're all in. It ain't just me. We're all in. Sir. So I get here March 1st. It is 24 hours. March 2nd, it's 24 hours. March 3rd at 10:15 at night, I realized it's my wife's birthday.
Oh.
At 10:15 at night, I FaceTime my wife for her birthday.
Oh.
Don't shake hands. She never whined. She never complained. She never whimpered. She knows exactly what I'm going through right now, and she is all in.
Hey.
I've been married to her for 32 years.
They say behind every great man is a great woman, Coach.
She never one time in 32 years made me feel guilty for the time and the effort and all the commitment I make to these kids. They're in the program. Never once. It was her birthday. We're all in. It ain't just me. We're all in.
Coach, real quick, man, you've had success with the Horsemen. A ton of success at Catholic. Made Catholic a powerhouse when it wasn't one. You went to North Gwinnett and became successful there. Also at Camden. Coach, do you feel like are the kids buying into what your resume, or is it you find it a little difficult?
You know what? Look, they're kids. They don't know if I won 3 games or 300 games. They just want to put on here. To me, I'm no different than them. I go live in the now. I've not won a game at Highlands. I'm 0-0 at Highlands. Who cares about all that? What are you going to, what is going to happen now? Who cares about all that? I know I bring experience. I know I bring a set of eyes that have been through situations that hopefully is going to bring something to the table when those moments in time come. But look, man, when you can coach at Wheeling, West Virginia, and they're spewing Iron City beer on you while you're trying to win the game, and you call them play, you can coach in anything.
Coach, man, we got 2 minutes left, but Coach, I can talk to you all day, man. Coach, I appreciate this. Man, I'm ready to go, Coach. If I had anything left in these old bones, I'd line up and play tackle for you, Coach.
Well, we're fitting them in helmet and shoulder pads money, so come on up, we'll suit you up.
Coach, he got some bad knees, Coach. I don't know, Coach. He can't give me nothing. He can't pull no more nothing.
Yeah,
he can't kick out block. He's terrible. I don't know if you want him.
I don't know. We might still be able to bring it out in him.
Hey, I think Coach can get it out of me, Coach. I believe in you, Coach. I'm right there.
Have you got a chance to see very many kids, or anybody you know by name, anybody stand out to you so far of what you've been going through? Any kids?
I'm not into names. I'm into team. I know I'm starting to learn names. I'm going to tell you right now, with what they've been through, and you know what it is? It's Highlands. They've not had success. You know what they're hearing in a restaurant. You know what they're hearing when somebody pulls up beside them and pump of gas. You know, it is what it is. They got to endure through that, but I know what they're hearing. And then they have somebody come in and leave after 2 days. Ooh, that's pretty harsh on a teenager now.
Yeah.
Coach, we got a minute left, Coach.
That's pretty harsh. Them kids are sitting there saying, something wrong with me? Something wrong with us? Dude, so let me just tell you, when I showed up March 1 and I met them in the field house 6 o'clock in the morning, I gave them 10 seconds of introduction. Here's who I am. I'm excited to be here. I'm blessed to be here. Let's go to work. They didn't need to hear somebody tell them their philosophy. They just want to know somebody's going to go work with them. That's all they wanted to know. We just jumped in and went to work.
Coach, man, we really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us, man. We love to have you on again soon for sure.
Y'all enjoy your day. God bless.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate
it, Coach.
Man.
Appreciate it.
Amen, Coach. I'm telling you, boy. Hey, whoop, whoop, whoop. Coach got me hyped, baby. I'm ready to play.
I love Coach's energy. He's like, look, sometimes nobody don't like being honest. You just gotta be brutally honest. And Coach is brutally honest. I'm pretty sure a lot of them folks. So, but I'm telling you what, Highlands, you're in a better shape now. But they're jumping on board. I'm telling you, his energy is remarkable.
Yeah. Looking for big things out of that Highlands program, Coach.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, man, that's another Sunday conversation in the book. As always, there should be a living donor. And make sure you subscribe, share, and like. Get us 1,000 subscribers. Coach Truck, anything else?